guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Starco here, obviously guys, like always. So today guys, well, like the title of the video says it's going to be our Alliance Battle Extreme Guide for a Quicksilver for Speed Day. You actually have two possible teams you can run with Quicksilver. You can run with either Spider-Man 2099 lead and a Spider-Man team up, or you can run with Elsa lead with Wong team up. What's going to make you decide which team you're going to use? It will depend on Quicksilver Obelisk. Like you can see me, I'm running with 2099 leadership. It is because I do not have an Ignore Dodge Obelisk. Basically, the optimal for speed day you want to have about between 80 and 100% in your dodge. So if you have in your dodge obelisk plus the passive from Quicksilver that give him in your dodge rate of 50%, so the obelisk usually around 30%, so that gives you the 80% you actually need. So if you do have in your dodge obelisk on him, well, you go with the offensive team, which is Elsa lead and Wong. If you do not have that, like me, you will go with Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man team up. So that's how those two teams are done. For the rest of the gameplay and everything in the stat building, it's pretty much the same. There's only one difference basically, and it's on the skill cooldown. Like here we're going to take the team off, guys, just so I can show you the skill cooldown thing. Give me a sec here. There we go. So if we go on the page here, since Spider-Man 2099 and Spider-Man give you a 5% skill cooldown as team up, well, if you use that team, you only need 45% reduced cooldown duration. But if you run with Elsa lead and Wong, you will need 50% cooldown duration. Sorry about that loud sound, guys. Okay, so let's set the team back up so we can see the stats properly, guys. Here is my stats with my team up. We're running with max attack speed, obviously, maxing our defense, max reduced cooldown duration, about 60% critical rate, and about 177% critical damage. Basically, you want to try to bring your critical damage as high as possible. The optimal obelisk I actually recommend for this guy will be critical damage, critical rate, and damage plus. But other than that, either critical damage obelisk or critical rate obelisk, it will do the job with that build. Obviously, if you're going with the other team, the obelisk you want to get, the optimal one is Ignore Dodge with either critical damage or critical rate and damage plus. Those are the two optimal obelisks you can have on him. Now if we take a look at my gear and hero, the way you want to set your hero, if you're not skill cooldown cap, you have the 4 gear to help you, and if it's still not enough, you have the Euro, same thing for your defense. Then after that, you want to bring your critical damage as high as possible while maximizing your critical rate at the same time. So here you can see on all my gear, I went with 2 physical attack, 2 critical damage, and the 1 critical rate Euro, which is doing the job done. If I actually could upgrade all my critical damage Euro, I'll probably be around 190% critical damage and could easily hit 400k score with my Quicksilver, but I'm not there yet. I'm working on it, but I'm not there. For the ISO set, I do recommend either Power Tank Ryuk or Overdrive. If you have skill cooldown problem, you can always go with Akai's ISO set, but I prefer the other one. So this is my ISOs set ISO here. We got the stage 9 in effect. Here we got 30% increase to all attack. We'll see in the skill rotation later, guys, but if you're ISO set is under 30% or under that, it will really affect your skill rotation compared to somebody that is over 30% increase all attack with this ISO set. Depend on how you awaken yet. We'll explain that when we talk about the skill rotation because of the third skill here. The third skill is actually override the ISO, but there's a way to actually use the third skill to not get the increased all attack from it. So we'll talk about it when we get to the skill rotation, which is now basically because we talk about everything else. So the skill rotation, guys, is pretty simple for Quicksilver. You want to open with 5, cancel into 3. 5 basically, you don't have to let the skill animation go, it will throw your tornado all over the place, and you can cancel right away and use your skill number 4 to get your plus on skill number 4. Then once the skill number 4 animation is over, you're going to use the skill number 3. If you are, it's here where that gets tricky. If your skill, if your ISO set is over 30% all attack buff, and the ISO set is actually active, what you want to do is after, well, on the second hit of the third skill, you want to cancel the third skill right away. Why that is because the third hit on the third skill is actually the attack buff, and it will override your ISO set even if the buff of the ISO set is greater than the buff of the third skill. So me, I'm at 30%, so it doesn't matter really if I cancel the third skill or not. So you'll see in my gameplay, I do not pay attention to that. So that is the main skill rotation. Now, usually you can keep that skill rotation going except when your pros is not on a skill number 4 anymore. And that will happen a lot because the skill number 4 cooldown is actually 8 seconds. See here, 16 seconds minus 50%, it's 8 seconds. And the pros on your obelisk is 7-second cooldown. So sometimes you will lose your pros on your 4th skill. That will happen. What you want to do when you see your pros happening on your 5th skills instead of your 4th skill, and then on at the end of the 3rd skill, what you want to do is you want to hold up on the 4th skill before using it. You're going to add, you see, I do a bit of other skills. Basically what I do is when that happens, I start counting in my head 7 seconds from the time that the obelisk damage plus was activated on the either 3rd skill or 5th skill. I count 7 seconds, then I use my 4th skill. So during that 7 seconds, I try to keep my meteor bar up while, you know, damaging stuff using other abilities. That's pretty much what I'm doing. Now, if your pros is getting late, you know, sometimes we have bad RNG and the pros decide to like be at the very end of your 4th skill or move even further. Well, what you want to do is you want to delay your 4th skill. So like for example, my process really at the end of the 4th skill. What I'm going to do is after I use that 4th skill and realize it, I will keep my rotation going, but like I'll do my 3rd skill like usually, cancel or not into the 5th skills. I'm going to let the animation on the 5th skills go. If I need more time, I will even use my 2nd skills before I use my 4th skill again. Then my pros should be back on my 4th skill. It's a lot of information, guys. We're going to move to the actual run of the Alliance Battle Extreme with Quicksilver. You will see how I adjust along the way with all that's happening. Pay attention to what I'm doing. Don't just, you know, look at it, hey, it's a great score. We don't give a shit about the score for a guide about Alliance Battle Extreme. Yes, I put a great score if I can, just to attract more attention to the video, but basically it's to teach. So pay attention to how the process can get out of sync and how I'm actually going to put it back on the 4th skill as fast as I can. So guys, on that, we're going to move to the actual Alliance Battle Extreme run. I hope that I was some help for you guys with all those information. thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and watch the ads on the video to help support the channel.